Dr. Edith Eger, From Trauma to Triumph. Survived Auschwitz, watched her mother be led to death, nearly died herself, and years later, she became a clinical psychologist. Not in spite of her pain, because of it. There comes a moment in every journey where you've walked away from the old world, you've burned the bridges, you've silenced the noise, and for a second, it feels like you're finally free. But then it actually hits you. Not a wall, not a failure, something actually worse. The silence, the pull, the whisper that says, "You sure you're ready for this?" This is the part they never post. The stretch between who you used to be and who you're trying to actually become at this point. You're not that old version anymore, but you haven't fully stepped into the new one either. You're stuck in the in-between and everything in you wants to run back to that comfort. That is the real test. This is where the average collapse, and this is where the pretenders post another quote and actually walk away. But the real ones, they lean in, they stretch, they hold the tension like a sacred weight because they actually know the truth. The moment you grow, life will test if you really meant it. Welcome to the stretch. Let's begin. It's not just you. Every person on a path of transformation reaches the exact same point where it gets weird, lonely, and actually uncomfortable. It feels like you're regressing, but you're not. You're actually restructuring. Growth doesn't always feel like rising. Sometimes it feels like holding tension without breaking. Zone of proximal development, ZPD. The psychologist Lev Vygotsky called it the sweet spot for growth. Not so easy you stay the same, not so hard you break. It's where you stretch just enough to become. This is the zone champions live in, where the reps don't show, where the applause is gone, where it's just you and the tension. Neural pruning. Your brain deletes what it no longer uses. It means when you stop feeding your old identity, your brain starts trimming it away. But that deletion process isn't gentle. It triggers cravings, nostalgia, and even doubt. Every time you don't go back, you're pruning the old you. Ego death. This is a very important concept. There's no stretch without a mini death of your ego. The part that needed validation, the part that craved certainty, the part that performed for applause. It's gone. That's why this moment feels so raw. You're not just growing, you're grieving. Let's make this unforgettable with metaphor anchors. Rubber band. Stretch a rubber band. It resists, it tightens, it threatens to snap. But hold it long enough, it adapts, it expands, it remembers the new shape. In the gym, you don't grow on rep 1. You grow on the rep where your muscle wants to give up. That stretch where the results are silent but seismic. The slingshot. Stretch back far enough and with focus, you'll launch. But if you let go too early, you'll land exactly where you started. Real people, real tension, real stretch. Angela Duckworth, grit scientist. She wasn't famous, she wasn't top of her class, but she observed over understanding why some people never quit. After being rejected and ignored, she stretched. She interviewed thousands of people, built a theory, rewrote the success narrative. Efforts count twice. Angela Duckworth. She didn't study grit, she became it. Elon Musk before the fame. Everyone knows the billionaire. Few know the first 3 SpaceX launches all failed. He poured in his last dollars, slept in the office, got laughed at, and doubted. James Baldwin, voice against all odds. As a queer black man in the 1950s, America's Baldwin had every reason to stay quiet. But he didn't. He wrote what burned inside him, even when society rejected him. You have to go the ways your blood beats. James Baldwin. Dr. Edith Eger, From Trauma to Triumph. Survived Auschwitz, watched her mother be led to death, nearly died herself, and years later, she became a clinical psychologist. Not in spite of her pain, because of it. Your pain is not your prison, it's your power. Dr. Edith Eger. Growth isn't passive, it's actually trained. You must condition your nervous system to hold the new standard. Here's how. Name the old you, write it out. This is very important. The version of me who needed to explain myself to everyone. The version of me who confuses chaos for connection. Name it, then bury it. Micro stretch challenge daily. Each day, Pick one act that stretches your character. Have the uncomfortable conversations. Post without over-editing. Say no without guilt. Say yes to the rest. End of the day prompt. Today I stretched by ... Here's what it revealed ... And that could be anything to you. These small reps are invisible until they're undeniable. There's a moment when your brain starts negotiating. You've done enough. You need to take a break. You're not seeing results. That voice isn't truth. It's ego trying to survive. Stretching doesn't break you. Running from it does. This is not the end. This is the edge. And the edge is where greatness is forged. Monk mode check-in. Stillness, 10 minutes. Let your nervous system stretch. Here's a challenge for you as well. One small action your old self would avoid. A journal prompt for you. Where did I stretch today? And what did I learn from staying in it? This is not about hype. This is about honor. The stretch is where you become someone you can trust, where your standard becomes unshakable, where your soul gets stronger than your story. If you don't stretch, you're going to forget that you're elastic. If you don't grow, you'll forget you're capable of growth. If you don't move forward, life will recycle the same lessons until you do. This is your moment. Not the sprint, not to prove, but to hold the line, to stretch and to become. So now that you've stretched beyond what you thought was possible, but now comes the harder part, receiving. Most of us have been trained to grind, to give, to prove, but can you let yourself be supported? Can you ask for what you really need without guilt, without shame, without feeling weak? Tomorrow we're going to flip that script. The next phase of monk mode isn't about hustle. It's about healing through connection. Day 24 is called the ask, and it might just be the most vulnerable transformation just yet. I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget, stay grateful.